Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, B-Farm. Thinking right out here in the lab. What I do for you? I got something nice for you today. I'm going to bring it back my 10th edition, anniversary edition, and a little message from my teacher before I start the lesson. So let's get started. You know how we do. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lesson. You tune and receive it. You got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thing is mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. Through the lessons that I give them on a daily basis, you tune in, receive them, implement them, and you will end up knowing thyself. Trust me. Let's go. That's my mission, and your goal should be to know thyself. All right? I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I cover my mouth because I don't want to say nothing about that, so I just keep it going. So, a person who knows not, a person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them too. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinking, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. This is I showed you the book before we're still here, but we're doing the 10th anniversary, and he wrote a little letter of thanks to his followers. Okay, I was one, so I'm gonna read it to you right quick. It said to forward the 10th anniversary edition from 1995 when I first got the book to 205. Okay. It gives me much pleasure to present the 10th anniversary edition of this book. When it came out in 1995, started much interest in the ancient Egyptian philosophy and religion, and that it has survived 10 years signifies what? That it is continually finding new interests. Perhaps more important, it is that it spawned what? Many other books, which were actually started as expressions of most of the chapters in this book. So this is the book that started everything, and they can be seen in the back section. Okay. So there are many books in ancient Egyptian religion, philosophy. Yeah. What makes this one and its children different is that it not only seeks to bring forth what ancient Egyptian religion and philosophy as an authentic teaching, okay, that strongly did what? Influence the ancient cultures that also as a living tradition. They practiced it, they lived it like I do right thing of philosophy. A tradition that what? Can be adopted, there you go, as what? A spiritual path in life, as a religion, meaning you practice it daily, you have rituals, you have routines that you follow, and it's a system of what? Yoga or a philosophical discipline of life on par with what? With any of the great religions and philosophies to this present day. And I'll put it up against anybody you got. I'll bring mine and you bring yours. I'm comfortable. Call me David. You can be Goliath. I ain't worried about it. Okay, I'm good. Many have, watched this, sought to adopt the Kemetic teachings, ancient Egyptian religion, and philosophy. Now, in the last 10 years, a while ago now, many have what? Allowed it to influence their what? current practice of religion and yoga. You don't have to stop being a Christian, Muslim, or Jew to practice right thinking philosophy. It incorporates everything that you're already doing. Trust me. There can be no better tribute to a culture than to remember its religion and philosophy. And no better way to do that than practice it and live it day by day. I love that. Why? That's what I do. And this is where I got it from. These are lessons I learned over 10, 15 years ago. But watch this. I'm loving this. In the past 10 years, what happened? I have received letters from all over the world, including India, Japan, Europe, and Africa, the Caribbean, and South America, and Canada. Wow. Most people are amazed to discover the teachings presented and more so perhaps the relationships to other religions and even the proofs that Netarian, ancient Egyptian religion was instrumental in in the origin and or the development of the present day world religions, extending its influence as far as China, Europe, and of course sub-Saharan Africa. If I were asked, he tells people himself, if I was asked, I would like to see for the next 10 years, I'd like to see the next 10 years, and I agree with this. I would say more followers of right thinking and more qualitative followers of my right thinking philosophy. Why? In order to have better experiences of the teachings, there need to be more followers who will accept this path and take it on as their vocation and careers. Live by it, stand on it. I do. Then what happens? It will be possible to expose more people to the teachings and develop better financial resources. I have to go with this because I'm going to ask for donations. I've been asked already, who do I donate to? What can I buy? I'm going to sell merchandise and take donations like everybody else. I'm giving you a service. You're going to be paying me for the service. I have a problem with that. I don't sell lessons. I sell merchandise. Okay, understand that. So yeah, for the purpose of furthering more information. I get it. I understand it. I don't like the idea of asking for money. That don't work for me. But financial sources and to produce better venues, better material. I gotta get a microphone, so I get it. So in order to produce better venues for the practice of the teachings that I teach, and then people will discover the true glory of right thinking philosophy's teachings and how their power can be discovered today, not as long past tradition, not as a long past tradition, but as a reality that remains with us simply dormant, like the Kundalini serpent, waiting for you to activate it with righteous living, and dormant, waiting for you for the true aspirant to accept the challenge of self-improvement. Everything I give you is for self-improvement. Right thinking philosophy is based on self-improvement. Okay, so understand that. That's the challenge. And that self-improvement leads to what? You ready? Self-knowledge and personal power. Knowledge is not the power. Use it, understand it, and utilize it to your benefit is the power. The power lies in you using your knowledge. Last one, wrap this up so I can move on. To all who have tasted these waters, aka right thinking philosophy, in the past, all will taste it in the future. I grant you in the name of the Neteru and ancient Egyptian god and goddesses, may you walk in peace, do the right thing. May you discover the powers within, knowing thyself, and the wisdom of the soul. Live it, know it, and be part of it. And may you glorify, here you go, the teachings, and by doing that, reap the fruit of what? Enlightenment and immortality. With knowledge of self, you become an immortal. Why? Because you know who you are and you know you can't die. That's that lesson. Now I'm moving on to the lesson. Last part about this is called lifting up the veil of ignorance. Well, I'm not ignorant. If you don't know yourself, you're ignorant. I'm gonna help you with that. It's not a problem. It's not an insult. It's a fact. Some things ignorant don't mean you're dumb or stupid. It just means you're uninformed. You don't know. I'm about to help you with that by enlightening you with information that now you are informed and you do know. So no more excuses for not knowing that self. So I'm gonna help you lift the veil of ignorance. Let's go. Now, as stated in the ancient Egyptian text, the book of coming forth by day, the eternal soul comes to earth. Again, here we go with the lesson. Sorry about that. But again, I've been trying to get this point across, and you dealing with those spiritual people, they'll tell you the same thing. You come to earth in a physical body to learn a lesson. Whatever lesson you didn't learn in prior, got it. I'm telling you, learn who you are. Whatever else you didn't learn, don't make it different. But if you know yourself, you can go home. Let's go. So the idea is to lift the veil of ignorance so you can do that. That's my goal. Okay, so let's go. The eternal soul comes to earth. Why? To learn certain lessons and what? To become purified. Well, how you purify? Live righteous and do things that's good and pure. I wasn't pure then. I was pure bad, yeah. But purified meaning changing your heart, doing what's right, and things to change for you in your life. That's what it means. Okay, watch this. Now, in the process of doing this, or evaluation, evolution, you have to what? Virtue as well as vices are experienced. Good and bad. Again, maya, balance. You can't have one without the other. But virtue and vice are experienced by us what? Based on our own what? Mental disposition. Our ignorance of ourselves will cause fetters to our life. Knowledge of ourselves will give us heavenly disposition in our life. Why? We're going to live better, we're going to do better, and we'll be rewarded for that. Hellish condition means you continually doing the wrong thing out of what? Ignorance. Again, mental disposition. Our purity of heart is what? Determines the situation and outcomes of those situations. Every scenario that you're going to have to encounter, the heart is involved. This up here is two. But when you get them to work as one, that's the goal. That's what enlightenment is. And now, watch this. Purity of heart determines the situation. They knew this way back then. The heart is where the truth lies. We've been teaching that since forever. Now, in 1991, modern scientists, Braid and Madu, a scientist, they found out that the heart have a bigger brain than the brain that's in our head. Go figure. But they already knew that. I just a little tidbit there. Let's do that one in for you. So watch this. But through repeated embodiments, know what that means? Reincarnation. That means you've been in the loop. Through repeated incarnations, embodiments, we are what? Led by our, again, here we go, own soul to what? Experience the act of living. We come into the physical form to live, to experience human form. We're spiritual beings having the human experience. We call it life. We're living in the physical body, which is our temple or our tomb. Your call, your decision. Again, attempting what? All the time to what? To find that ultimate absolute bliss, which will eliminate all pain and suffering. That's Godhood. We know that if they suffer in this world, well, when he died, all the suffering, pain is gone. How do we know? We don't know, like my man said. Ain't nobody told us yet that over there is better. But they sell us the bill of goods that it is. Why is that? Nobody ever told us. It's a concept. It's an idea. It's a theology viewpoint, and which is fine. Okay, that's what religion is based on. So move on. That's going to get you a breakdown. But watch this. Now, it is because of the veil of ignorance as to the true nature of the soul and of God, that we would interact with the universe as if it really exists, as if we were interacting with an entity other than ourselves. What the hell are you talking about? When you realize that you and God are one, that means everything here is part of you and you part of everything here. That's what I'm talking about. If you can't conceive that, you won't reach Nihas. Okay? So moving on. If you have a subjective mindset, when as long as it coincides with what you think and what you know, you're good. Anything other than that, you're going to reject. That's subjective. If you're objective, that means you open-eared, open-minded, and ready to listen and hear something different than what you think or already know. That's teaching. Enlightenment only happens if you're objective. Subjective, you can't get enlightened. Why? Because you think you know, or you believe you know, and you don't. So, moving on. If we knew, watch this, if we knew the truth, what happened? We would become what? You ready? Enlightened sage and saints. I fancy myself a sage because of what I've done and things that I've made happen for myself. I know what I know. So thereby, watch this. What happened? You achieving ultimate freedom. The point is the main thing of what? Egyptian yoga and will be what? Elaborated on throughout this volume of what? Knowing thyself. You free yourself from fear, false evidence appearing real when you conquer your ego self. When the spirit, our innermost self, is ready to what? Make that final journey home. When the Grim Reaper called and it's about, yes, okay, what happened? Back to, its source. Back to the ground? Nope. The body going to the ground. Spirit goes back there. Unless it's what? Unenlightened. If it's still ignorant, the caterpillar can't go into the cocoon and become a butterfly if it's still thinking it's a caterpillar. Okay. And back to the source, which is what? God. Religion is based on getting you to God, connecting you to God by giving you lessons and stories and mythological concepts, and allegorical stories to teach lessons. Same thing. Watch this. But it begins where? To inquire about the nature of its existence and thereby causes pressure where? On the mind, namely the ego personality. There we go. Our Ba, which is the soul, our individual God conscious begins to what? Apply what? Subtle pressure on our waking consciousness in the form of what? Subtle suggestions. We call them moments, clarity, intuition, deja vu, whatever. But we begin to what? Recognize the wisdom of our ancient scriptures and develop in what? An interest in books such as this one. When I was reading this, it was just calling me out. I was just all engulfed in this. It's funny when I read it down. And watch this. By becoming in tune with the pressure of the spirit, your higher self, is what? Allowing oneself to be guided, let your conscience be your guide, by what? Your intuition, your higher conscious state, and the letting go of what? The ideas and thoughts which we know to be what? Untrue and fruitless. The ego self. Mental purification. Here you go. Mental purification. What's that? Requires the utmost patience with ourselves, interest in the world as an absolute reality, and the notion there is nothing else beyond this physical world, physical reality, ignorant, ignorant, ignorant. It left behind. Watch this. That's the veil of ignorance that we want to try to live. If you're in that state of mind, you're suffering from the veil of ignorance. Watch this. Now, physical reality is left behind gradually. Watch this. And a new psychological impression and experiences are introduced until what? We become established in this, what? Other reality. At this point, what happens? We wake up from what? Our consciousness we have been used to as if waking up from a dream. This is what? Attaining, you ready? Horsehood, Christhood, or becoming Buddha or Krishna, the enlightened one, the Akus, enlightened beings, while still on earth in living form. That which is the fundamental truth, again, the supplemental reality is beyond true naming, but the wise man called it what? The all, the absolute, God, virtue, whoever, whatever. But you have to understand and put yourself in a position so that you know what it is. Why? Because of your experience with it. That's an Egyptian proverb. Let me wrap this up. I got one more paragraph to go. Oh Lord, come on, this is ridiculous. Okay, sorry, but I hope you get the message. But I'm trying to help develop ignorance for everybody who's tuning in. I'm trying to help you with that right now. There are many paths. Watch this. Of liberation. I tell you, as many people, that's as many paths it is. But they all lead to the same, again, spiritual destination, which is what? The one, the all that is within us all, and all other things, nature. This world is apparent multiplicity, which many different, what's this, objects and people is really a manifestation of the one true reality. Complete understanding of this most important point, what leads to the realization of what? The truth. What's that? This is self-mastery, cosmic consciousness, liberation, spiritual enlightenment, salvation, nihas, etc. Once you come to grips with reality and who you are, you know all this is what it really is. Okay? Illusory. But what's real is what? Your higher self, God, the one. Dispassion, wrapping it up. Dispassion, meaning take the emotions out. Detachment, disassociate yourself with the situation. And these are indispensable sciences to be what? Practiced daily. And once an understanding of the teachings has begun to take root in your hearts, what will happen? Neither love nor hate, neither want nor wanting, all actions should be based on and guided by Maya. Truth, justice, righteousness, and balance. That's the criteria what you judge about. Not how you feel, not what you think and what you know of. Nope, just that. That's what they tell you. And no longer, watch this, is there any action, reaction mentality. Do this and then think about it. I tell you, right thinkers think first, act second. That's a true right thinker. If you act first and think second, you're not thinking right. Please understand that. And you got to hold yourself accountable. I'm not there. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It's all about accountability. Doing what you know to be right. Moving on. When you got a reaction, watch this. When no longer there is action, reaction, mentality is what? Doing something to someone. Why? Because someone did something to you. That's revenge, personal, selfish, etc. But watch this. One is more and more able to control what? One's emotion and behavior with what? Self-knowledge. Knowing how to conduct yourself, knowing what to do, when to do it at all times. I know a brother who ain't lost his cool since I known him, so it can be done. I'm working on it. I ain't that good yet. Tell the truth. No longer, watch this, would it be necessary to what? Act as an animal. Or to indulge in one's what? Ego. When one is ridiculed or praised. The ego, if it's praised, swells up. If it's ridiculed or put down, it's ready to react in the physical way. Not good. That's the point. One will, watch this, one will live above these ignorant concepts. When praised or ridiculed, one will live with one's divine essence and truth. One will what? Recognize the ignorance of what? Others. And will be strong enough to what? Exercise what? Empathy, compassion, and understanding for them. I thought that was crazy. I'm starting to realize it ain't so much. Okay, so from this position of understanding and enlightenment, it will be possible to what? To do, you ready? The greatest good for others. The greatest thing you can do for somebody else is don't do what they do to you. I'm old school. I tell you, if you do something to me and I get a chance, I'm going to do it to you. They say that ain't good. I know it ain't, but sometimes it's personal. Again, because they're passionate. If you got emotions, your passion's in there. You ain't dispassionate. Dispassion means take emotions out. A lot of us say that, but it's hard to do. So I get it. I understand. I'm still working on that too. Now, wrapping it up. Appreciate you tuning in. Sorry to take so much of your time, but this lesson, hope it was good. In ancient Egyptian mythology, what? The scarab, which is my board, okay, is what? The symbol of transformation. From what? From mortal to spiritual consciousness. That means from ignorant to enlightened conscious state. Y'all call it Christ conscious, whatever you want to call it. We call it transformation. It's a spiritual transformation. And the scarab starts out in dung. We invite people, we pretty much start out there too, but they show you can come up out there and earn your way and still reach the level of success within oneself. Be your best self. Know thyself. That's how it's done. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Right thinkers, may you live 100, me 100 minus a day. So I'll never know that good right thinkers like you have passed away. In tribute to my dude, the Chief Rocker, Frankie Rocker.